We just gave you an impression of contemporary Shustar New Town in Iran. We will use this project as a showcase for explaining to you the concept of typology mix in housing design. Shustar New Town was developed in the early 1970s by the Iran Housing Corporation and was designed by Kamran Diba and the office DAZ Architects, Planners and Engineers. But let us first let you know what was the main target here. The direct objective was to build a residential community for around 30,000 people, adjoining the old city of Shustar. Most of the inhabitants would be workers of the sugarcane production company nearby, and of course their families. It was important that this new town would cater for housing and facilities according to their social and economic needs. How Kamran Diba exactly achieved to create this new town from scratch, catering for people from different income groups, and at the same time creating social cohesion within the community, we will illustrate to you in the next video. But here we will give you a brief overview of the project, accompanied by drawings and pictures from the archives of the Aga Khan Award for Architecture. In the previous module, Rowan explained to you that the housing project of Aranya was strongly influenced by the Habitat Bill of Rights that was presented at the first United Nations Conference on Human Settlements held in 1976. Next to Doshi, also Diba was involved in the conference and was part of the group of architects who promoted this Bill of Rights. Therefore, it comes as no surprise that the four scales of habitat, dwelling, cluster, pedestrian precinct and urban community, are also clearly recognizable in Shustar New Town. Diba's explanatory sketches for the design show how every dwelling should evolve from spatial cell into the formation of the city as a whole. And the sketch for the creation of communal, multifunctional spaces on all scales is clearly recognizable in the design of the first construction phase. In order to create homes for the future local residents of the region, Diba inspired his design on building patterns that he found in traditional Islamic cities. In the archives you will find detailed sketches explaining these traditional building patterns, and if you compare them with the overall design, it's clear to see how this inspiration has been incorporated. Traditional ancient Islamic towns are organized around a central spine, and Diba has cleverly translated this element and made it the backbone of the design for Shustar New Town. Detailed studies of traditional architecture directly inspired the dwelling designs. To accommodate various lifestyles and income groups, Diba designed different house types that vary in physical size and proportion, but they all share one essential motive, the courtyard. Detailed drawings of the project can also be found in Diba's book, Buildings and Projects, published in 1981. Elaborate urban profiles and sections show careful attention to height differences and the width of boulevards, streets and alleys. The contrast between vast public spaces and the dense fabric of the streets in the residential neighborhoods offer visual and spatial diversity. The Habitat Bill of Rights also included an appendix with specific recommendations for the development of new communities in Iran. And I think we can conclude that in Shustar New Town most of these essential recommendations came to life. For example, in the integration of local climate aspects and the use of transitional elements like gateways, porches and arcades, that all have a clear function in Islamic cities. Diba designed a series of different gateways to create a clear threshold when entering a neighborhood. As a result, each dwelling cluster became a clear spatial unit with its own identity. Another theme that deeply influenced the design for Shustar New Town is the garden, that according to the Habitat Bill of Rights should provide a sense of oasis and be a shelter for the oppressive climate. Diba designed each house with a courtyard and a small garden that was placed adjacent to the street. This provides shades and green image to the network of walkways. Communal gardens were placed outside of the neighborhoods, and by integrating the gardens with the pedestrian boulevard, Diba wanted to stimulate social encounters on an urban scale. One must understand 3 crucial periods of time when looking at this project. Because of the sudden increase in oil revenues in the 1970s, the Iranian Ministry of Housing stimulated different organizations and companies to provide and build housing for their employees. Often foreign architects were involved, using industrial construction systems and neglecting local techniques, materials and cultural traditions. But when Kamran Diba got the assignment for designing Shustar New Town almost half a decade ago, he took the opportunity to resist these modern concepts. His goal was to address the cultural and social identity of the local people. The first phase was completed in 1978, but a year later the Iranian Revolution disrupted the further evolution of the project, and the 8 years of war between Iran and Iraq shortly after dramatically changed the image of the town. The city was overrun by refugees, architectural plans disappeared, and a lack of control because of uneducated city officials led to the fact that Shustar New Town was not completed according to its plans. In 1986 though, because of its careful social design, faithful to the traditions, customs and ambitions of local people, the project won the prestigious Aga Khan Award for Architecture. And what is promising news is that late 2020, Kamran Diba made efforts to start new plans for rehabilitation and expansion of the new town. This would do justice to this project, which was designed and built with such great care and respect for its different inhabitants.